that each year, like every year, 1.6 million persons die from violence around the world. 1.6 million. Now, this doesn't cover about every case that we have, because there are some cases that are underreported. As a matter of honesty, I think one of the most underreported crime on the face of the universe is rape. Forms of sexual violence is the most underreported cases. Being said, when I got the invite to speak at TEDx, I was excited because I've always really wanted to speak at one, let's be honest. And I definitely knew that by grace through faith, I'm definitely going to do that one of these days. I already knew where my passion resides, so I knew what I wanted to talk about. And then I read further, and I saw the theme for the year is frontiers. There couldn't be a better serendipity. What else will I want to talk about if not how I want to see women take bold step and swing their ample waist towards resounding change and turn their ears deaf to whatever society pegs normal and decide to say, hey, I am not normal, and I am very proud of it. Okay, so I'm going to be telling us a story by Colin. It's titled, It Ends With Us. That is the title of the book. But before we dive into that, one thing I've come to realize with survivors of violence is when you grow up around a lot of violence, a degree of it becomes very acceptable to you. You feel like it's a normal thing, especially when it happens in your immediate environment, say your household. There's plenty of violence in it. And the thing with violence is like a generational curse. Once one actor accepts it and swallows the pill, she passes it down to the next, to the next, to the next, and the vicious cycle continues until one person decides to step out and say, hey, it ends with me. I am not taking any of this violent thing anymore. The $1 million question is, who is going to be this actor? Who is going to step out and say, hey, violence, I am not doing you anymore? So, Colin Hoover's book, It Ends With Us, is about a girl called Lisa, who experienced a degree of violence while growing up and also after she got married. It's not just the expertise with which Colin wrote this book. It wasn't how fluent her English was. It wasn't her diction. It was the concept of the book entirely. The book was telling women, hey, you need to step out of this violent chain. You need to do better. I think it was sometimes last year my best friend shared this book with me. I am an avid reader. How many of us are avid reader? I don't know if hey. Okay, so I am an avid reader. I read books like you breathe air, though I've been a bit too busy these days, but I still try. So when she shared this book, I thought, one of our books that we read and catch up later and say, hey, how about that book? Did you see when this one happened, that one happened? Man, I didn't actually know that I was going on a roller coaster ride. When I started that book, I didn't know it was going to cement my belief in the fact that I am not normal. I am not going to tolerate a lot of things that the society has pegged normal. And then I started reading, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So now, I know living in a society like ours, where as a woman, you have your niche carved on the wall, very plain, bright and elaborate. Everybody around you knew how you were supposed to dress, what you should say, the clothes you should indulge. Okay, what do I do next? Of course, by the time you're approaching 20, everybody's expecting you to have gathered a handful of suitors, a baby girl for life. By now, you should be getting ready to get married, because God forbid you reach 25 in your father's house. You want to be dragging your gas burner with your mother, who, by the way, secured her own house at the age of 19. Are you not ashamed of yourself? In the society, that is what ours is. But then, the way you grew up, the pills you see your mother swallow, like the emotional abuse, the psychological ones, and sometimes the physical ones, leave you wondering, did she really secure this home, or does she need security from this home? And then you go further to ask her, but hey, it's okay, you shouldn't really question these things, because Romeo and Juliet only exist in your head. There is nothing like true love. Marriage is a sappy, sad walk that you just continue to swallow this. I don't know who normalized this, but we are up to change it. And if you ever ask your mother, why do you even stay? Why are you swallowing all of this? Are you an orphan? You don't have a family to go back to? What exactly is the problem? She's going to tell you, I am doing this for you. That is the most common excuses. I don't want to leave my children behind. Who's going to take care of them? She can't even stand to be, let's say your father's house is on this side, her own house now that she's a divorcee is on the other hand. She doesn't even want it. She wants to be in the same space with you. But then, as you get wiser, things started to clear up some more, and you begin to question, are you really staying for me or for society? Because the word divorcee is one thing she fears more than the certainty of death itself. And then you begin to really ponder and question. Now, let me juxtapose this with Lisa's story. Let me go into, I know you have been waiting for Lisa's story. Lisa grew up to a lot of violence. Her dad used to hit her mom. And like most violent people, after hitting, he's going to come and appease the mom, take them out, beg her, promise her heaven and earth, tell her he wouldn't do it again, buy her the things she liked, on and on and on. That wouldn't stop him from doing it the next time, the next time, the next time. As a matter of fact, when Lisa was younger, she was looking forward to her dad hitting her mom because she knew that meant there would be free ice cream for that week. He would take them out, they would enjoy themselves for that week until he hit her again. So as a child, just imagine you're looking forward to your mom getting hurt. Now, it was going on and like that, and Lisa was really, she's starting to grow. She was always asking her mother, why are you staying? I mean, okay, you said it's because of me. I am a grown-up now. I don't even stay in the house with you. But why do you keep staying? And the mother was still there. Like the society will talk, I told you. It's the society. What will they say? I'm going to be a divorcee. I can't do this. Now, Lisa's father died. After he died, they invited Lisa to give an eulogy. That is, say some few good things about the dead. And Lisa stood before people. You know what she said? Nothing. She could not remember one good memory she had of her father. There were good days, of course, when she was growing up, but all of those good days were completely erased by the bad days. She had not one single memory. So she stood before that crowd for a good 5 minutes and couldn't say anything. What happened? They say, greater than lovers' love is lovers' hate. Nobody hates you with so much intensity like somebody who used to love you. Now, she used to love this man, and she grew to hate him, to resent him. So Lisa got married to what she thought was the love of her life. They were very in love, very, very in love, I kid you not. If you read the book, when you get to their love story party, it'll be all smiley, that what's part kind of love, very intriguing, and you want something like that. And she did see tendencies of violence in her husband, but then she didn't really take it serious because he has never acted upon it. And then this one time she was pregnant, they had an argument and he pushed her. He pushed her. Her eyes was filled with tears. Her heart was filled with love, but she knew she was done with that marriage. You know why? Because she had a baby coming, and she didn't want what happened to her to happen to her baby. She didn't want her baby to grow up and hate her father, who is, by the way, her husband, and who she is very much in love with. Now, you can see that the same reason why our mother stayed is the same reason why Lisa left. She left because she didn't want that child. She was protecting that child and her husband. Now the child is going to grow up and say, hey, my dad's an awesome man. They separated when they divorced with my mom, but I am in a good place with him because he was no longer in the picture to abuse her mom. So the child will have very good memory of her father. Unlike Lisa, she didn't have such. So now if you juxtapose the two and you see like, my mother is staying because of me, and Lisa is living because of the same me. Because no child on the face of this earth, whether born out of love, born out of tolerance, or born out of just insipid loss, actually deserves to experience any form of violence. It mars the child and plunges them into depth of dysfunctionality. And most devastatingly, what it does is, as a parent, you are showing the girl child how to expect to be treated by a partner. You are telling her, it's okay, if a man hits you, stay, don't worry, that's how life is. You get better with time. And then you are exemplaring to the boys, hey, macho man, it's okay. That's how this thing goes. And I normally like to lay emphasis on the fact that violence is not only physical. There are psychological and emotional forms of violence. Sometimes our parents really get before us and you start to hear very, very, very wrong things you are never supposed to hear. And these things have a very, very, very negative effect on children, but we still hear it anyways. So that's why our society actually is submerged with plenty of, no offense, egocentric men. Because that is what society has taught you, that yes, you are a man, there is ownership in this thing. There is no ownership for the love of God, not even a child ownership. What you should be building is a partnership and understanding. Love is actually supposed to be caring, and everything that isn't love. Love isn't supposed to hurt. Everything can hurt. Betrayal can hurt, insults can hurt, but not love. But oftentimes we mistake it. So hey, the next time you feel like you are angry, you are a macho man, you want to flex your muscle, Anthony Joshua is somewhere. You can actually just wrestle him for his belt, I mean, it's a very good way to, all those pent-up anger and energy that you think you have and you can own up. You can do something with Anthony Joshua around the world and collect his belt, and let's see how that goes for you. So yeah, I'm just going to say that I have a couple of things I want to see as intervention for us. I don't know if my story was well saturated, if you all get the comparison I'm trying to do, that there is no reason to condone violence, and there is no reason. I mean, the men, I know you don't want to deviate from the normal. How dare you? You want to come and change your ancestral ways of doing things. Yes. Like they say, culture and tradition is nothing but peer pressure from dead people. In the first century, let's act like it. Yes, you are not a simp for loving your wife correctly. Somebody's daughter that you took from her father's house. Somebody like me, I don't like stress. You're not coming from my father's house and come and stress me. I'll leave you. Let's be very honest. I don't like stress. And I have this thing personally. My friends are always like, I don't even know who you are dating. I'm like, well, he tried to stress me and I left him. Because life is very short. You don't come and stress me for my mother. I'm a last born, please. For the love of God. So yes, I'm going to give us some intervention. I think first and foremost, I'm going to be giving emphasis to the women because, hey, we are the most abused. As a woman, I think first and first, as far as getting all that you deserve and being respected in society, first and first is knowing your worth. And how do you know your worth? By the time you calculate your worth, you now add Jara on top. The Jara now is read books, go to places that are informative. Most importantly, self-respect is very important. It gets you places. Don't come and be doing who will serve for me on your status. It doesn't say well. That brings disrespect. So there is a very important need for you as a female to first understand that you are first and foremost a woman. Elegant in your rights, regardless of what you look like. So you must first know your worth. And please, I know society, the way we are brought up, especially in this part of the world, you will sit down, men will bring money. It's no longer working again because that is what causes disrespect. See finishes. By the time I'm always asking. One time I was having a conversation. What I'm saying is there's a need for you to know your worth. It's very important. Know your worth. Try. There are businesses you can start. Earn your money. It is very important. They say the best thing a woman can do for herself is have some little cash for herself, even as a married woman. You don't always stand and say, give me, give me. I think one thing I'm forever grateful for my father is the way he raised me. I am a first girl. And I grew up in a family where my daddy does not care whether you're a girl or a boy. What he will make a guy, my older brother, I am the second child, what he will make him do, he will make me do. I always say, but she's a woman and she does not eat. Because I don't understand why you're saying she's a girl, so she can't do this. Then my brother learned how to drive at 15, I learned how to drive at 16. My daddy does not want to know what is what. He just sees all of you as children and he treats you as people. Yeah, there are sometimes. Then there are times when my brother, I can actually clean a plug and put it back. My daddy made me do it. So I'm forever grateful for the way I grew up. And I think it's important for the new generation that we do this. Where's the man? Have constant communication with your children. Build that relationship. That relationship part was quite lacking for me. But there was the part where I was pretty industrial because my daddy, he didn't want to hear that she's a girl. It is not a third term in my house. No, nothing. My dad had piece of businesses. I started to manage some of them at the age of 14. And if you will tell you, if anything goes missing here, like you miss out money, you will not go to school for 1 term because your school fees are used to go to that. If you want to bother about the standard society has set, I am very sorry for you. You'll be plunged into depression. Because that is why when you're approaching 25, you start to wonder what is going on with your life. There is nothing. I used to tell, my mom and I had a conversation. She said, you're getting old. You are always, when my mom calls me, she's always like, now who are you dating? Because the thing with me, like I told you, I don't like stress. So, and I notice plenty of men are actually very, very emotionally manipulative. And I don't like that thing because you make me feel like I am an idiot and I hate to feel like that. So To say bye-bye is not hard for me. I'll tell you, oh God, this relationship, I will do it again. Please carry on, I'm going. So when my mom calls me, she's like, who are you dating now? Because I don't understand you. You are getting old. And I told her, not every woman was destined to get married. Don't get me wrong, marriage is such a beautiful union. But you will get it all wrong when you go chasing it so bad like it is the bane of your existence. That is when you accept whatever comes your way. And no, dear girl, you are better and bigger than that. You shouldn't just accept whatever comes your way. I have 2 minutes, and okay, so I was on Instagram sometime, and the issue of, I was following, of course, it's my work, issues surrounding violence, and I saw this poet talk about a very interesting topic as how family covers violence. So I thought I'd write a piece, and I have it thus. Let me use this. It goes thus. All of my emotions are painted in colors, splattered all over my sleeves like the multicolored blood stains of my little cousins linen after my uncle abused her. By all means, Mama said, keep it hush, for this is the perfect family, where our bed sheets are spread wide across our fears, prim and proper. Put away the dishes in the sink as you will your muffled voice when familiar fingers caress the opening of your 3-year-old thighs, for this is a perfect family. When neighbors hear our voices, it will be from our loud laughters to stand-up comedies, never from the cries of what happened when daddy didn't like the taste of mommy's words, for this is a perfect family. When our hands quiver and our glasses get darker, it will be because the sun lingers a little too much and is refusing to give way to the moon, not because mommy stumbled upon layers of daddy's feast and her hungry eyes, and fed her hungry eyes that did nothing but drench and protest, for this is a perfect family. In this family, we clean up nice and nobody knows our business. So please, when I cower from the crowd, understand that I am and was never taught to use my voice to hand out thoughts. Understand that my thoughts are processes that lingers only in my head. Understand that I need help, for I am from a perfect family with onions and chilies. So this is the place I write as far as violence is concerned. Thank you. So before I go, sorry I talked too much. I have this favorite quote I love to leave every gathering with, and it's for my dear ladies. And it goes thus: I want you to know that you do not find your worth in a man, you find it from within yourself. And then, hey, you search and pick a man who is worthy of you. Thank you very much.